do we want to go in order in regards to the all the pro wrestling that's happening? Because if we go in order, we may have to just mention that Trinity's wrestling on an Impact show tomorrow. There's I did Under Siege. That's a regular Impact show. Drip.
I think as of the last couple years, it's
It's not that new, right? Yeah, or it's not that old, right?
They got rid of a lot of the names that I remember growing up, like Rebellion, Under Siege.
Mm-hmm.
Some other ones like post 2018, like their pay-per-views have had different names compared to like they had Destination X, Against All Odds, Final Resolution. Like once that full Anthem switched to Access, like they completely kind of rebranded. They still keep Slammiversary and Bound for Glory, but yeah, Under Siege is something that's relatively new.
Yeah. I'd seen like I said, I saw this image. She's wrestling Giselle Shaw. And Savannah Evans is listed as being in Giselle's corner. But Giselle was Savannah was talking about something beating Trinity or doing something with Trinity, and I think they have a match lined up for Saturday. There's some I've not watched the Impact show yet, but I was looking at it yesterday, and the weekend low key starts with this Impact Under Siege show on Friday night. If you, I don't know if people are actually watching Impact or they want to make sure that they see what Trinity's doing down in Impact, but this is your chance. Make your voice heard.
So, are they in a studio? Like, are they stationary, or do they go?
They think do tapings all over. Yeah,
okay. Because her debut was in Chicago, but they've been in Florida or Baltimore. I forget where Impact is normally or more regularly.
A lot of places like Nashville, Chicago.
Okay.
Is this one Vegas or is this a different one?
This one is in Canada.
Okay.
Oh,
this London, Ontario, Canada is where Under Siege. It's also,
and that's kind of been one of their home bases as well. With the ownership is Canada.
On the card, they've got Trey Miguel and Chris Sabin for the X Division title. Deonna Purrazzo is defending the Impact Knockouts Women's Impact Knockouts World Championship against Jordan Grace in a last chance match. That if Grace loses, that'd be the last time she could challenge for the title as long as Deonna's a champion. ABC, Ace Austin and Chris Bay are going to be taking on Subculture, defending the Impact World Tag Team titles.
Oh no! I came back just in time for actual wrestling.
Well, wait. The Under Siege website has Trinity versus Savannah Evans for the Friday night show. It doesn't have Giselle Shaw.
Well, like me was trying to say, I think it's like the way they do their tapings is kind of confusing at times. They'll do a show one night and then have another taping the next day.
But they had a graphic for her.
Continuity seems out of whack at times, like what's coming before the other.
They had a graphic though.
I thought I saw that on the timeline today. Or
I'm pulling it up now. I'm looking at it looks like there's an update on the Observer's website. They just list this as the final card. It doesn't say anything about several matches been announced.
But see, that's the problem with shooting everything.
She's wrestling two matches. She's wrestling Giselle, and then she's going to wrestle Savannah. At least that's what the Observer's saying.
But that's the problem with them shooting everything in batches, though.
Yeah, you don't know what the fuck's going on.
They could shoot something first, and then that goes on second, or goes on much later.
I have no idea. Tap
they don't
into
go in order.
I think the
second match says under Siege Fallout, so it's like it's their Monday Night Raw to Under Siege is that second match, like
right.
There's a lot going on.
The way they do things, it's still like
there's
okay.
But that's what they can afford to do. Like Impact is not as big a company as the other boys.
Yeah.
Right. I think the one thing, I'm sorry, Mimi, the one thing that cripples Impact is like if you don't have access and you're not tapped into like their. I subscribe to their YouTube just so I could watch Trinity, and that's like $2. But if you don't do that, you're kind of just getting info piecemeal because they don't. You can't just go to Fox Sports or whatever and catch a recap at some point. But
it is what it is.
That's the thing. Until whoever owns the company decides to shift the position,
until Panda Energy buys them again.
But have the money.
But that Carter comes crawling back.
But even then,
what's she doing?
That's a great question.
Yeah, that is a good question.
That's a great question.
What is Google? What is Dixie
probably
Carter?
Trying to hold on to the money that she didn't spend because
the state of that company at that time. She was. I remember one of the last things she was doing was like low key calling Vince Russo, like, "Hey, what you think we should do?"
Wow, that's what got them that's what got them kicked off Spike.
What you think we should do with this? And he's like, "Yeah, we should do this." Oh, we're not talking to Vince. Hold on, we're not talking to Vince.
Yeah,
I don't have Vince Russo on the other line. Oh wait, Vince, hang up.
And then they brought in Bischoff and Hogan for that big 3-year experiment that ended with Dixie Carter grabbing Hogan's leg as he was walking out and being like, "Please don't leave." Like,
don't leave. Don't leave. What a time. What a time. Brother Fam's not around. I was trying to go in order of these shows, but the next show is Night of Champions. We had Drip. I don't know if you saw. I think you saw. We have Mavs picks, but I don't know. We got to wait for Fam for the pick. So I don't know if we want to preview another one of these other shows, like Battleground on Sunday, because we're not doing predictions for Battleground, right?
No.
Do we think?
Has anyone been following NXT?
Yeah, I try to keep up with NXT every week. I'm upset that Roxanne Perez is not in the finals for the title. I want her as my NXT Women's Champion.
There's a Roxanne Perez conspiracy going on.
Is it a conspiracy?
I think so. It goes all the way back to when they're like, "Oh, she broke her leg, but not really," and then they put her back in the ladder match or whatever that was.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's because Shawn Michaels is a bad booker.
This is the only match I'm probably gonna be super invested in.
You think Shawn Michaels is a bad, but that like now that it's not him and Triple H,
that
him
like alone,
his bad booking is kind of
Thank you, Ken Lou.
You can see his weaknesses as someone who puts things together and then gives them a bad finish, and the road to it is also kind of shaky and has been shaky with certain things. Like I was trying to say last week, this whole Carmelo Hayes face turn, but still heel-ish. Again, the tweener Carmelo Hayes, while Bron Breakker has kind of done the full heel turn. It hasn't worked, but he works as a booker in terms of like a matchmaker. Like there's Wesley, Tyler Bate, and Joe Gacy in a triple threat. Dragon Lee versus Noam Dar in a British rounds match. They got Gallus versus the Creed brothers. Like he can put matches together, but and Dragunov versus Dijak, that should be interesting as well. But
that's gonna be hard.
Is just like it's sloppy and messy. Yeah.
You know what's actually been really good? Has anyone caught some of the Best of the Super Juniors?
No,
I've been trying to.
It's been pretty good. Clark Connors, who we had on Shameless Plug, we had him on Wrestle Rap a couple weeks ago, last week. He's in like the new Bullet Club that they're doing,
right?
And it's very
woof. Sorry,
no, but he's very good though. Check out a little podcast called Wrestle Rap. If you're not already subscribed wherever you get your podcast. Shout out to Emilio. And
link, if you're watching this after we go live, the link should be in the description.
Yeah, do that. And I'm just curious because there's a lot of good people in Bullet Club right now, but it's interesting like what they're trying to, because they're very much trying to. In that interview we did with him, he kind of came right out and said that they sort of don't acknowledge whatever Jay White's doing with this like Bullet Club Gold in AEW. So it's like you're doing another Bullet Club Civil War.
Right. And you don't even touch.
And you don't touch.
Not yet.
but not yet.
Doom, doom, doom.
But there's no. They may touch a forbidden door.
Yeah.
But then after that, it's like, what is the end game? And we asked about it. He was like, oh, well, we wouldn't tell you the end game now on a podcast. And it's like, I don't know if there is an end game.
Right. Well, a lot of this isn't built for end games. It's built for a wrestle
Stop and
again in a
starts.
couple of
Yeah.
months. Yeah, it's how pro wrestling works. I don't know. I want to see. I like to see this match. I like to see Dragunov Dijak. I think that's going to be hard.
No, I think they missed the boat on Bron. They should have had him come up to the main roster by now.
After he lost at WrestleMania weekend,
He lost all his steam.
Yeah.
I could see that. No, I assumed one of them was going to be going up, and if Carmelo won, it would have been Braun. But I don't know. Them. Probably to Drip's point, I don't know if they didn't have really seemed like they had anybody else lined up after Braun for Carmelo, so they had to run it back. The matches are good. They're good matches, so it's not like it's a total loss, but at a certain point, somebody's got to do something for somebody.
Well, that and a lot of the people that Triple H has brought up already haven't really panned out, or they're like waiting to give him stuff to do. Like Johnny Gargano has been a big wet fart. Like he
needs to be. Some people are. I've said this a lot of times. Some people are just NXT lifers. And that's okay.
I guess so.
It's okay.
I don't think I don't think that was funny the way you said that.
Okay.
I don't think Bron Breakker is ready
for the main
my
roster.
opinion.
He might not be.
He's not.
He might not be.
I don't think this
mature
iteration
yet.
of him. I don't think this iteration of him works up top. I think he needs to be Rex Steiner.
Well, that would have been the best plan.
But
They ain't ready for that.
But
They
then
don't.
WrestleMania weekend happened, and
I don't know. He's got to get dirtier. I think they've not really fleshed out.
That's what he's doing now, though. They are trying to turn him into that, because like Mimi had said this a couple months ago. He just seems boring and like
they haven't done anything.
He's an unstoppable babyface champ who just runs through guys and like
you are part of the Steiner family. Have him cut promos.
But how much of that? Like he's not. Like they don't have enough of a good tag team division with him in it for him to eat off of their accolades, and they're not good. If you're not Cody, but my thing is, if you're not Cody Rhodes and can talk a story about your daddy with the belt, Braun's not going to be able to cut that same promo about his daddies and whatnot. Like they were champions, so they could do that. But as a singles competitor in 2023, I don't know if the crowd's going to give a shit.
Can he get away with Scott Steiner-esque?
Big Papa Pump.
Well, that's the thing. Like the worst case for him
daddy
was that he's the son of the other brother, because the easiest thing they could do is like give him the chainmail, tell him to dye his hair, and be the new Big Papa Pump, and just be too much of a reboot cliche. But like he's trying to get that. He's trying to have that edge now, like a Scott Steiner with his attitude and just attacking everyone. But he's still.
I mean, he sounds and looks exactly like them. Like,
yeah.
And if that nigga would have sat in the middle of my barbershop, somebody would have poked that nigga with a knife.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. So what you do is you pull a Dominant Mysterio, and it's like he got 23andMe, is confused about his heritage, who his parents are. So he has to have a battle to figure out who his daddy is between Rick and Scott Steiner, and then you make him Scott Steiner's son, kayfabe.
Yeah,
and then give him the Billy Graham, have him dye his hair, wear some glasses, do the pose and some tie-dye. Yeah. Tie-dye singlet. Let's go.
I don't know if I would lean into it that much.
I know, but you got to do something.
You got no. You got to be subtle with it, and you have to update it. And I think the subtlety is the update, right? So I think you update them, and then you give them onk.
6 months. Big Papa Pump and Bron Breakker for the rest of the year.
But he was already doing the stuff his dad was doing. Again, he comes out doing the barking and like the singlets are kind of the
Yeah, he
same
just
with
beat
that
his
funky
daddy. He just
patterns.
beat his
Like,
father up. Let him beat his daddy up.
Yeah.
If he dyed his hair and wore the chain, well, yeah, I'm not saying be Big Papa Pump, but I'm saying maybe if Ron Ryan, my man Ron, is correct, if Bron needs 6 more months, give him this time to develop. I don't care what it is. As long as it's something that it's not, I'm the son of a Steiner and I run through people. Give him flesh out the character. So by the time the Royal Rumble comes up, you got a reason to throw him in that match and then possibly throw him on the main. Like, it's not difficult. You just got to figure out the right track, right?
I guess so, but
I wouldn't make Braun the second coming to Sky. Again, whatever you want to do.
I'm not saying they should do that. But
Not the second coming, but maybe the update.
I'm also not I'm not hearing a lot of suggestions either. Like, I mean, at this point, people see Braun as just a big dude, and that's it.
What's Kevin?
It's like a me head.
What's Kevin Sullivan doing?
It's funny. What is Kevin Sullivan?
Worshiping the devil. What do you mean?
What's the college niggas? The nigga that wrestled
the Varsity Club?
Varsity Club.
No. The college niggas that's there now. The nigga.
Oh, the NIL, the NIL program.
No, the nigga that
Creed Brothers or Gable Stevenson.
The Creed Brothers. I guess with the college sweaters and all that.
Oh, put him with them. You saying?
And then run back to Varsity Club. Like, you know what I mean?
They just
thinking about having be like a collegiate athlete kind of gimmick.
Wasn't he a part of that crew?
No, he wasn't a part of that line. No.
He was always by himself?
Chase U. Yeah, the Chase U is what I'm talking about.
The Chase U. Oh, well, that's...
Chase U.
So they need a mouthpiece, though. Because that's the other thing, because he's not a...
Kevin Sullivan.
Or somebody, yeah.
What I want you guys
have
understand.
him... Well, no, have Braun be the mouthpiece. Like, have him talk. He's got to work out his promo skills.
Oh, if he's the mouthpiece, he will need to work out his promo skills because
I don't like calling a man a mouthpiece.
It's facts. It's facts. They don't. He ain't managing. He too big to manage. Alpha Academy. You could do a lot with Bron Breakker. I just think they got to stick. They got to find a track that makes sense and go with it.
I like the Alpha Academy idea.
Him with Chad Gable. You would.
But then they're like too silly for him.
Yeah, that's my.
I can see them doing it silly. Like he's the big tough heavy, and they're the silly lackeys.
But they already got a big tough heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might as well just get rid of Otis.
Well, what are you doing over there, Bron?
Otis.
Yeah,
my man Otis. I don't know. I guess that's NXT Battleground.
I'm not watching it.
It shows how excited everyone. I guess that's NXT.
I'm definitely not watching that one.
I know if it's coming on at the same time as Double or Nothing and Succession,
I'm definitely watching Double or Nothing.
I gotta make a concession at some point. But I imagine a lot of people will be watching Double or Nothing.
The Double or Nothing card looks pretty decent.
Let me pull that up right quick.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Double or Nothing.
Tougher heavy is funny.
In Nevada. Damn, it's only 9 matches on. They're not adding anything else.
As of right now, I should say.
They got a whole show on Friday.
Yeah, but I said we'll see what happens on Friday. Ace Double or Nothing.
I wish we could have Matt. Matt could tell us about what his man Tony Khan was going to do.
He got all the plans. Yeah. All the details.
Math, come on, hop in.
The biggest match, I guess, is it's the Four Pillars match.
Pillars, yeah, of course.
I don't know about these 4 pillars, guys. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got a feeling that your man is turning back. What's the Panda Boy? I always know him as Panda.
Oh, Sammy?
Yeah, I always know him as the Panda Boy because of the first night. But yeah, I think he's Panda Boy. You know what I mean? Panda.
The Panda.
I got holes in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no. I think he's going to end up turning back. It's just all of them jumped on him the other night.
Yeah.
Max. So yeah, he gonna probably turn back and help Max win.
Yeah, I'm assuming Max walks out. I think the odds
Yeah.
makers also have Max.
Yeah.
I'm
walking
gonna be
out.
honest. Nobody else in that match should be sniffing a world title.
No.
Nobody.
Nah,
So-
That's
Darby
the
Allin
that's the
can.
thing. Like, no, I don't want Darby Allin.
Wait, drip. Because you're the AEW. Let me ask you a question. They've been building this, they've been building the four pillars for a bit. We've talked about it on White Noise, but specifically this match over the last couple of months, it's been segment after segment, sometimes 3-4 guys in the ring talking, jaw jacking back and forth, matches, whatever. Do you think that this program has built any of those four pillars up more than they were before it started?
Only a little bit in terms of each one. Like Jack Perry, this has been trying to get him more mic skills, but he still struggles with that. This Wednesday, he cut the best promo he could and has.
It's better.
But we all still know he's just great in the ring, and that's kind of his ceiling at this point. I don't know how long it'll take for him to develop mic skills. And he says it himself that he knows he's not the best talker and he struggles with it. Sammy Guevara at this, he'll always be a heat magnet that they try to force to be a baby face, and it just doesn't work because at some point you're like, fuck this guy. And Darby Allin has shown he can be a face of this company. But he can be a face of this company. He has the kids in the audience dressing as him. He does the stuff outside that, even though it's niche skateboarding stuntman stuff, it still is an appeal that they're trying to appeal that's outside of wrestling. And this is the guy who's the skateboarder but also wrestles. And he's the only one who's defended a title regularly besides, Sammy Guevara and
I don't know. It feels like they're splitting the load 4 ways, and because they're splitting it, then nobody gets the big load because they're all splitting it. So calm down. It's not what I meant.
I feel like Shaq right now.
That's the first time I've ever heard Vince say, "Hey, chill out." hey guys, calm down. Calm down.
I know you're right. You're right. It's like that NBA on TNT or Chuck. It's like when you're rubbing their bodies. And,
no, because you get in there with a guy and you're banging.
Yeah, you're banging and banging.
And he's banging the whole night. And then and Ernie's like,
wrong with you?
No,
Something's wrong with you. Something's seriously
but,
wrong.
But seriously, you put all 4 of these guys in the program and they're not all ready and they're not all white hot, right, and you're trying to elevate them, then no one gets elevated. If you just had Jungle Boy versus MJF,
right,
you could weave a whole story about how it goes back to the first pay-per-view and we fought each other and this and that, and you could pull on there. You have 4 years of history now,
right?
You could pull on that and make something out of it.
But
instead, now you're
saying I beat all 3 of you one by one, and that's the thing. Now what happens to me as a face, all of them at the same time, and then each one has faced each other as well.
But also,
this is a good. Rock asked a great question though. Are the 4 pillars even the top 10 most important people?
This is exactly what I wanted to bring up because
only one of them.
Because you bring up the idea of the 4 pillars, and you've told people for years that these are the 4 pillars of your company. So if you hire someone or someone comes along that's hotter than those 4 pillars, does that person become one of the pillars? What does that say about your 4 pillars now?
They ain't sturdy.
You sign people better than your originals. I mean, that's really what the answer is. I mean, listen. They didn't use Jungle Jack, Perry, whatever, Jungle Boy. All right, yo, you gave this nigga the dumbest everything. Yeah, he's too gimmicky to get over in 2023 as that, and they're easing up on it. But I think they need to go full stop.
They may have already done too much damage.
Nah, I think he's salvageable still.
Right.
But none of the Jungle, he needs to either be serious or something. He can wrestle. But see, I think that's that's kind of always been the problem over there, is that they assume that the wrestling will be enough.
He can wrestle.
Not it being enough to compensate for lack of
everything else.
Deep story.
Yeah.
Or deep reasons to care.
Don't worry, he can wrestle.
Right. I don't know why I care about Perry or Crash Dummy, yo. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I hate the other two guys,
Right.
and that's easy. The hate is easy, but the baby faces here just I don't care.
Yeah, like Darby's not Jeff Hardy. I don't think he's gonna get this like huge groundswell of
Correct
support enough to sustain like a world championship. And I know he's got Sting behind him, but I feel like every time Sting comes out, I'm just like,
ooh, look,
oh,
Sting.
cool. I'm more interested in what Sting's got to gonna happen.
Right. Each pillar should have been given a vet the support. Well, this is the thing with vets because
That's what they're. Yeah,
that was the whole promo they cut.
No, but when AEW, because I the vet that they pulled out in another match on Dynamite was Sabu for the Adam Cole Chris Jericho unsanctioned match, which I mean I know that Chris Jericho and Sabu wrestled in ECW, but Chris Jericho and that wasn't like Sabu and Taz had a bigger feud than Chris Jericho and Sabu. Like I don't want to say it looked like you grasping at straws, but Sabu is not somebody that I'm really like, oh shit.
It feels like it kind of came out of nowhere, and I'm sure.
Oh shit.
And I'm sure the AEW fans are going to be like, well, you know, it didn't really come out of nowhere because if you know your history between these guys, okay, fine.
I was there.
But you're,
I don't know.
You're bringing him in at like such the last minute that it feels like an audible.
Yeah,
if he was here, if Sabu was here for the last month, different story.
What's the history?
I think it's a different story.
Well, I'm actually going to pull it up now because
ECW matches.
Yeah, the idea is that Chris Jericho
basically having an ECW match. The whole point is they're having
Chris Jericho and Adam Cole are having an unsanctioned match. They motherfucker. Chris Jericho and Sabu wrestled one time. You fucking asshole.
Technically history.
I feel like a piece of shit. I feel like a piece of shit. But when I'm looking, I'm like, why the fuck is Sabu the one coming out there? I get it, but they had one match and he's supposed to be the like. Is this match going to get this crazy where you need a Sabu? Mimi, you didn't watch. I don't know if you was watching ECW. Sabu had a match with Terry Funk where they had barbed wire as the ropes, and Sabu cut his bicep. But he couldn't stop the match. It was bleeding and shit. So he took the duct tape, right? And he wrapped it around his arm and said, all right, let's finish this match. I don't think this unsanctioned match is going to get to, my muscles falling off territory to where Sabu needs to be the guy out there.
No, the best thing about that match is going to be Taz on the announce when they were...
He was already like, I got a lot of history with that guy.
I got a lot of history with this guy, Cole. He's showing ham hocks right now.
He's like, suicidal, homicidal. He's like, oh my gosh, no, not him. So, and that to me, there's no way there's gonna be.
You mean he's like, how long you been out? Like,
you welcome home, convict. But no, like, you know what I mean. There's no. I just don't have any. I don't have any expectation for Sabu in the ring as much as he's done to himself over the years. Like, I don't know, champ.
He walked down to the ring in a whole white suit. He probably going to have some type of.
And he definitely had $40 in his pocket. It's now gone.
This is the history. I mean, I wish I was bullshitting, but I mean that's the history.
Wow,
that's it right there.
Right, that's right. Because Jericho, you've never beaten me.
This is the one man that's got my number. 1996.
Whoa, who's batting 1,000 against Jericho?
Yeah. February.
Jericho.
Hey, my nigga Jericho.
And that was probably a house show. I don't even know if that would have been on TV.